So Joe, great win in the first race of the weekend here at Brands. Your second win in 2 years here, because you won in British F4 as well. So you must like this circuit.
Yeah, it's a good track for me. Obviously being on pole, it was always going to be a pretty simple race. So yeah, it was just all about maintaining it, the gaps, and just doing everything that we needed to.
And you spoke earlier about how critical on the start is. You led into Paddock Hill, and you controlled it from there. Were you under any pressure from voicing it at all?
Obviously, it's always constant pressure when you're leading, because if you make a mistake, you're not going to be leading anymore. But at the same time, it was just one of those races where I just kind of maintained the gap up front. I didn't drive away. I probably could have if I tried, but it just wasn't worth any risk. I wanted to save the tyres for the reverse grid races. That's probably what we'll be running. So yeah, obviously the 2 safety cars helped quite a bit. So yeah, just happy with the result.
And how fragile are the tyres here with the heat? Although the 2 safety cars, I'm sure, helped.
Yeah, obviously the safety cars helped, and to be honest, we weren't really weaving too much under the safety car, just purely because the tyres were already warm enough as it was. So yeah, it was just maintaining the tyres, making sure I saved them as much as I could, made sure I kept them nice and clean, and then yeah, just made sure that the tyre didn't drop off, I didn't kill it or anything. So yeah, it was just maintaining, and it was a pretty simple race, to be honest.
And on the second restart, you backed up. You didn't go as early as maybe you could have, but still, I suppose that's all within the rules.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. The leader dictates the pace until the line. So, I can go whenever I want, really, and I don't actually have to go after the line. It's not against any rules, obviously, but they can pass me once we get to the line. So, I just left it later because I'd gone so early in the first one. And the main thing is that I wasn't, going and then backing up. That's the rule that I think you're on about. But yeah, I was just maintaining the same pace, and then just waited for. When I saw Callum start to drop back for me, I just went, and it was the restart that I needed on both times, and it made sure I had a good enough gap into turn 1 and 2 to be able to keep leading, and from then on it was pretty simple.
And how do you manage that situation at the restart? Is it just looking in the mirrors to see where voicing was behind?
Exactly, yeah. You're just basically staring in your mirror the whole time. You're not really looking where you're going because you're going so slow. So yeah, it was just looking at the gap, making sure that I had a good gap to be able to just pin it and try and drive away from him, and that was what we did.
And because this is your first podium since one of the races at Spa, so do you feel the ascendancy is with you now? Momentum's with you? Yeah,
the momentum is with me. Obviously, we've got a good race tomorrow as well, starting P2. I want to try and beat Callum in that one ideally. But no, it's a good start to the weekend, and it's a nice way to try and pick up the momentum for the rest of the year. It's going to be a tricky season, and it's not going to be easy to beat these guys, but we're going the right way about it at the moment. And yeah, I'm sure we can pick up some more wins.
And what are you expecting tomorrow, of course, with the 2 races, and in race 2 voicings on pole, and you're just on the front row in second?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be tricky. My start was a lot better than Callum's in that race, which is giving me a bit more hope than what I had originally. I think I can put a challenge to him on lap 1. Obviously, starting on the outside is going to be tricky, but it's possible, and there is a possibility that I'll be able to attack him, and I'll do my absolute utmost to try and get myself on the inside of him, or even around the outside of him, and I'll be trying my absolute best to make sure I beat him tomorrow.
And do you feel that is it all about weighing up that risk of going around the outside or up the inside at Paddock Hill, whereas versus the championship?
It's obviously always a risk, but at the same time, it's the same risk for Callum. So, if I'm going to go for a move, I'm going to make sure I'm far enough alongside. I'm not going to risk any contact, anything like that. But Callum's going to be thinking the same. He can't afford to have any contact like Alex did today, because Alex has just lost 35 points to me, plus fastest lap as well. So you can't afford to not finish races, and I found that out at Snetterton quite badly. Otherwise, I'd be leading this championship right now. But it's you just got to make sure you're finishing every race, even if you're not P1 every time. As long as you're that the top 5, top 6, you're always going to be picking up points, and you're always going to be in the fight at the end.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well done. Another